Welcome back. We are back for the live stream. Friday co-working stream. I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet. Kids are out of school. Today is last day of school, and so I want to power through and knock out some stuff before the weekend. For the uninitiated, on Fridays, this is kind of our lock-in time. This is typically a co-working stream. The idea of it is if you have ADHD like I do, it always helps to virtually or physically have somebody in the room working next to you while you're working. Kind of borrow a little bit of willpower from them so you can get done those tasks that are hounding you. And so that's what we have on today's episode of the live stream. I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro and then we're going to get into this. And I know I'm looking all over. I still have yet to plug in my second monitor. That's kind of the ADHD talking. I'll get to y'all after the intro. Peace. So, so the thing with this Friday, and this week has kind of been topsy turvy for me for a couple of different reasons. I had to switch a bank account that I had running. Um, yeah, I had to close out a business bank account, start a new one. I've had a couple of hiccups with some stuff, some other stuff in one of my businesses, and so it's been kind of a challenge to lock in, and that's about as honest and real as I can keep it. Um, it's when you have hiccups that just pop up like that, manifest, um, it can absolutely send you into one of those ADHD spirals. And I fought hard against it. Um, and I'm not going to give into it this week. It's not going to, that it's not going to start here. But I do realize that I have an additional level of stress on top of me. And that's really, one is giving urgency to my actions, which is not always a bad thing. But the other side is um, when I have that level of urgency and have that level of stress on top of me, it can be difficult to focus on any one task and lock in. And so that's what the challenge is today. Now, today, like I said, we work in 10-minute sprints. What I have on the menu today, and let me know in the comments if you actually want to see how I do some of this stuff. I'm going to be writing some ads. I'm going to be editing some videos, doing some email marketing for some clients or whatnot, just so that I can knock out some things. And so you could kind of see what we got going on behind the scenes if you're interested in that. But that's what I have going on. Um, like I said, if you have something that you need to get done, um, this is kind of the time where I try to knock out some of my weekend tasks. I typically have Saturdays as my catch up day for a lot of video editing projects. Because it's easier to shift my entire creative output towards video work on Saturday since I don't have anything else or anywhere else to be normally. And so um that's when I try to do it, but I'm gonna do some light video editing because it doesn't I got a video that does need to go into an ad today. And so probably you'll be hearing a little bit of video running in the background as I'm doing my video editing, but it goes into the ads I'm creating. So that's what I have on the agenda today. Work in 10-minute sprints. If you have questions or marketing things about questions about marketing stuff, business, ADHD, whatever, pop them in the chat. And then I try to answer every 10 minutes. I take a break so that we can break up the monotony and have that conversation. So that's what I have on today's episode. I have the email marketing thing, which I'm gonna get started now. But like I said, if you got anything, pop it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and start my timer so I can start powering through. And we're going to get started in 10 seconds. All right. All right. We're running. We're working. All right. I am an affiliate with Constant Contact. I am not a huge fan of it lately. I'm just not. It's too simplistic, but then complex at the same time. It's really a weird setup that they got running here. And they stripped out a lot of the functionality that makes it worth the money. It's just there are better options out there. And I'm an affiliate with Constant Contact. If you're looking to get started with email marketing, I can recommend them, but it's definitely not where you want to finish with email marketing. There are too many other amazing options out there to handcuff yourself just to Constant Contact, y'all. I do want to write a newsletter. I'm gonna get to that later on. Probably start doing that on Monday. All right, that's posted. Two major things that I had task avoidance on just got knocked out. This is why I do this. It literally took me like 2 minutes to get done, and I've been putting it off for a couple of days, and it's been bothering me. I think I'm gonna jump back into the world of automation here. Where are we at? What is the name of that? Close. For those that don't know, I also co-produce a podcast that's coming out of Silicon Valley. Um, and so I am in charge of kind of editing and repurposing and redistributing the clips, and I do all the content writing um, for the episodes on social media and stuff. And so that's something else I might jump onto, depending on how my time works out here. Studio. Hmm. Oh, sign me out everything. That's why I can't get into nothing. The registration. One of the things that internet marketers typically put out there is you can make money while you're sleeping, and that's kind of an overrated concept, but there's some credence to it. It does feel good, but it requires a lot of different steps to do that. It's not as easy as they try to frame it to be. I had to put in a lot of work to make money while I was sleeping, and a lot of work to maintain it. Oh, for God's sake, please don't do this to me. It's not bad. 8% open rate. I'm not mad at that at all. All right, y'all. So that was my 10-minute sprint here. Um, so what I was mentioning was one of the things is, and it's kind of a interesting sidebar, if you will. Um, I have specific tasks that are high leverage but simple, and sometimes I will put them off and put them off and put them off and put them off. Um, and it's not necessarily beneficial for me because I mean, literally, I knocked out two tasks that I've been putting off for days. I knocked those out in like 3 minutes. Um, a lot of times it's the aversion to starting because starting feels like a commitment and it can be a burden. And that's one of the challenges with ADHD is since starting can feel like a burden, you don't start on stuff. Case in point, I got shows that I literally want to watch. I've been waiting desperately to watch them. I cannot commit to starting them. I just can't. Emotionally, I can't commit to starting them because then I have to see it through to the end. And if I don't, then I feel guilty that I didn't watch the whole thing. Um, I want to watch the new season of Daredevil. I've really been excited and waiting for it. The conundrum I'm in is I don't if I commit to watching the new season of Daredevil, then I'm locked in. And I don't want to have that commitment hanging over my head. Um, it's such a weird thing. It's such a bizarre frame to exist in where you avoid doing things that you enjoy just because there's a level of commitment to the idea of the thing. And so, um, you know, I realize it, and I think part of it is understanding what it is, and not feeling held hostage by it. But sometimes you gotta put on your big boy pants and suck it up and go do the thing that you've been waiting on. Because more times than not, it doesn't require that much time. Um, it's more costly to not take action. And so, like I said, there are shows that I want to watch. I cannot commit to starting them. That is an ADHD thing. Like if I start watching it, then I gotta make an appointment to binge it or watch all of them. And me making that commitment is actually preventing me from starting something that I actually want to do. That's the ADHD brain, y'all. I don't pretend to understand it all the time, but I accept it for what it is. All right. So we're going to be back to our next sprint here to get stuff done. Um, I'm going to try to talk less and sprint more just so that I can allow you guys to work as well. Um, but if something pops into my mind, I'm going to say it. That's just kind of how it goes. And typically, if you're working in an office next to somebody, you're going to hear phones and small conversations and stuff. And so I guess that's just part of the co-working thing. If you're going to sit in complete silence, then it'll feel like you're sitting by yourself. And sometimes that's not necessarily beneficial. So again, we're on the Friday co-working live stream. Um, I'll be answering marketing questions in between. Um, I can focus on like email marketing questions because that's kind of what I'm working on. I can focus on content marketing questions. That's what I'm kind of working on. But whatever you want to tap in with, I'm cool with it. Um, One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to do the live stream on Instagram from StreamYard. That's going to come. I don't know how long I'm going to stick with StreamYard, to be quite honest with y'all. Um, it's a fantastic platform for live streaming. It costs too much. And since they sold it to a larger company, they've depreciated a lot of the stuff you used to get in the lowest tier, and it's almost not worth it in terms of what you have to pay for. They doubled the price and removed functionality. That sucks. So and I keep hinting at it, but eventually this entire thing is going to have a different look to it, and I'm building out what my live streaming service is going to look like. I'm going to be using Meld Studio, which is an alternative to the OBS Studio that everybody normally uses. So that's what I got. I'm gonna go ahead and start my work sprint. I got to answer this phone call real quick, so that's what we got. All right. Out of all the hats I wear, being a dad is one of the most important ones. So sometimes I got to take calls. That's how it goes. All right. What was I doing? Email marketing. do not understand how this stuff works. Guess I'm going to be using ChatGPT for some of this. Okay, ChatGPT, you're about to get some work here, my friend. So what I'm doing, y'all, is I'm creating an automation, a email chain, um, to basically warm a lead up. A lot of times, you're not going if you're selling a product or whatnot. The first time you engage somebody, it's really kind of a belligerent to try to sell them on the first conversation unless they really are high intent. And so I want to give them an opportunity to kind of grow through our product and get a chance to experience us. And so I'm going to be creating an email sequence to, I didn't start my timer. One of my limitations is I am not very good at this sequence stuff. I am not good with I can visualize what the automation is, but I struggle sometimes with implementing it all the way. It takes a little bit longer for me to set up. All right, that's 10. So I've kind of gotten a groove working on this email sequence here. What I'm setting it up to do is I'm setting up an email sequence. We're gonna lead off with a free workout, and we're offering a free workout. And once they accept the free workout, it's going to trigger email sequence to sell them into uh, our more advanced program. So that's what we're doing. Need to open Manus because I think that's where my ebook lives. So earlier this week, I kind of did an entire podcast about. Um, I'm already in. I did an entire podcast about how I use AI tools. And one of the concepts is for ADHD brains, it is really garbage in, garbage out. If you provide garbage content when you're plugging it into your AI, you're going to get really terrible outputs. And so a lot of times people think that just because they're doing something on AI, they can shut their brain off. And that is not the case. And you will absolutely get screwed. Um, you absolutely get destroyed by not checking your work or checking the work that you've had AI complete for you. Completely ill-advised. But people do it, they find a shortcut and that's what they want to use. I think one of the things that's going to define because what's happening is you're finding a lot of companies are actually integrating AI into their workflow. I think one of the things we're going to find is the thing that's going to end up separating people, uh, one group of workers from another when we're dealing with the AI stuff is um, I think it's going to be the people that actually check their work and don't just rely on AI to do it all. They're going to have to put in human inputs because if you don't check what AI will do, it'll have you out here looking crazy. Because what's happening is even on Silicon Valley, where they are kind of on the vanguard of this AI technology and stuff, even they have to keep a human in the loop. And I think the people that are going to be able to advance through this, especially as it's going to be the expectation that you do use AI as part of your workflow for some of these companies. Um, I think what's going to happen is the thing that's going to separate the good workers from the great workers is it's going to be the people that know how to integrate themselves into the AI workflow, as opposed to just letting the AI just do whatever it wants to do and not checking it. But yeah, I did a whole live stream about how I use AI in my normal workflow to edit videos, to basically edit 3 podcasts a week. um, and it helps me create kind of give shape to my ideas. I don't use AI to generate stuff independent of me. I always put my input in and help it kind of shape my ideas, and so that's the way I integrate AI into my workflow. I don't just let it run wild. And I think we're going to see that a lot of the low effort, a lot of people who want to just coast through are going to do that. But when I utilize I do have a tool. I use it for my video editing. I use it for my video clipping and repurposing. I use it to help me write captions and stuff for the video and research keywords and things like that. And so that is how I utilize AI in my workflow. My main clipping tool, my main weapon when I'm repurposing content is Opus Pro. And I use AI video editing software called Descript to edit all my videos. And one thing about it is like the script, it saves me hours and hours and hours of time because it can go through and detect like uses of ums and ahs and remove those things out of there. And it can help me um, laser focus a video on a specific narrative that I want to create within that video, as opposed to what you normally have to do, like an Adobe or something, is scrub through the video, watch it, and stuff. And Adobe kind of adopted some of the same technology where you can just edit the text, edit the transcript, and it edits the video for you. But I like the scripts interface a little bit better. Um, it's pretty flexible. It's not as powerful as Adobe's stuff, but you don't need, I mean, to be quite honest with you, you don't really need, if you're just creating content, you don't need like the Adobe suite to get started. The script is enough as a video editor, and you don't need really anything above that until you are personally ready to start leveling up with, more color correction and all the other stuff that you can move up, and even audio stuff. But I think a lot of times people get sold into the Adobe suite of products, not really understanding that their pricing structure is screwed up, and it absolutely will drain your bank account. Even if you try to hit the eject button like 6 months in, you can't do it. You have to go through a whole year paying almost $60 every single month. So when I need to edit a video, I start out by uploading it to the script and having, using some of the AI features to help me summarize some of the stuff and help me remove all the ums and ahs and everything. And then editing the video is as simple as editing the transcript of the video. Makes my life a lot easier. And that's what I use. So anyway, I'm still chugging through on this email sequence. And this email automation. I got to figure out how to connect it to the form. So that's what I got going on. Again, this is the sprint. We're about to go ahead and start our next sprint here shortly. Yeah. So we're going to start our next 10-minute sprint here. Like I said, if you got marketing questions, pop them in the chat. That's what I'm here for. We're going to go ahead and start our next sprint. 10-minute work sprint is on now. How do I want to do this? Okay, where are we at? All right, there we go. I need to change where the destination email is. I have to go back through and do that again. Damn, time is flying. All right, that's 10 minutes. Time's flying by, y'all. I'm not complaining. We're getting a lot done. Hopefully you are knocking out stuff on your end as well. You know, um, because that's what this is. It's to benefit both of us. And so I really do hope that you are able to knock out the things that you're trying to accomplish for the day. That's where the benefit is. And that's really what this Friday stream is here to do, is give you opportunity to knock out stuff that you have been hesitating on, or you need some extra willpower reserves to power through. Um, One of the rabbit holes that my ADHD brain will go down is sparring with trolls in news comments feeds. I don't know why I do it. It doesn't really provide me anything other than some a diversion, to be quite honest with you. Um, and I'd probably be a lot more productive if I didn't use that to distract my time, because I don't write responses. I write essays. It's not a good thing, especially when the essay involves, it just involves somebody that really isn't. I don't know. I don't know what the word is for it. They're not operating on the same frequency I am, in terms of a lot of different things. And sometimes it's in bad faith. I don't feel like doing this as a testimonial yet. I'll put that in there. Remove one of these weights. Mm. All right. So Yeah, I'm going down the phone rabbit hole, guys. Here's the thing. This exists as kind of a dual thing. I do want to be able to answer email marketing questions or any questions that you have about how to advance your brand or business on social media. And so I want to use this as a platform to do that as well. I do think a lot of times people are leery about asking questions in public forums because they're worried that their question might sound dumb or common knowledge or everything. That is really not what this place is for. I'm here to teach you because I assume that a lot of people don't know some of a lot of the things I do know about creating content on social media and using it for business purposes. And so I don't want you to feel hesitant if you do have questions, and no matter how basic, no matter how rudimentary you think the question is, please ask it, because that's really what that's what I'm here to do, is to help you guys get better at your marketing and be able to do it on your own, instead of always having to rely on some third party to do it or give you the tools and frameworks so that you have the ability to supervise somebody or make sure that the person that you hired is doing what they said that they're going to do. So I really want y'all to, if you got questions or anything, don't hesitate to ask them. Like I said, I'm answering questions in between work sprints. This is the Friday co-working live stream, and it's designed so that you can knock out your tasks before the weekend and we can kind of work together on stuff. But we're in the break, and so every 10 minutes I stop to answer marketing questions or business questions or anything related to task management and managing a business with ADHD. So if you have anything, pop in. We're almost an hour in. I think we're going to conclude with our work sprints here in a moment, and then I can get to chopping it up about just general ADHD stuff while I'm still doing work. So um, if there aren't any questions for the chat or from the chat, I'm going to go ahead and start the final timer and get this thing rolling. Because I want to get this last email banked here so I can at least say I did something. If you hear noise in the background, my family is coming in. Hey, Braylon. Hey, bud. For my lone viewer on Twitch, um, thanks for punching in with me. I'm thinking about adding some gameplay stuff in my downtime, if that's something y'all'd be interested in. I'm still gonna talk the same stuff I normally talk about, marketing and business and stuff, but be playing video games in the background. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. I'm an Overwatch nerd, and so that's what I was looking at doing. Hey, I'm doing a live stream. You're fine. Nobody's watching. I don't know if that's true, but small audience. Well, I do have somebody watching. What's up? Hey, if you got any questions or about marketing or anything, drop it in the chat, and I'll answer it. Hmm. I can't remember. Are we on break or not? I got sucked into doing something. Sorry, y'all. Hyperfocus is something that happens. If you got questions about marketing, drop them in the chat. No question is too simple or easy or it's or rudimentary. Anything. This is the Friday co-working live stream. If you got tasks that you need to knock out on Friday, bring them here, and we can borrow each other's willpower and power through those tasks before the weekend. So to give a little bit of shape of what I just did, I just created an email sequence that triggers when somebody submits information in exchange, for joining our mailing list. So basically, we're offering a free training um, for people that join our mailing list, and so I built the back end of that, the email sequence, and so what I'm about to go do is build the page that basically offers the free training in exchange for joining the mailing list. And then once that's all set up, I'll connect the two things. And once they submit that, they'll get a series of emails um, to kind of warm them up and acclimate them to our services. And that's just kind of how it goes. That's one of the basic things of marketing. I've normally done it manually, and that is not optimal. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now. People normally don't buy on the people don't buy. It's not normally people don't buy on the first most times not people don't buy on their first time interacting with you unless they're already sold on the services that you're providing. And so you do need to warm them up a little bit and stay in contact and let them know that you are invested in them as people. What is this? Okay. One of the things, one of the terms that you'll hear marketers use a lot is lead magnet. The concept of a lead magnet is something that you're providing value to somebody on the front end, and what you're asking for is an exchange for their contact information. One of the things that people don't understand when couple years ago when Facebook bought Instagram, yeah, they bought it because it was an emerging platform and it had a level of popularity and a good strong following. But they were also buying Instagram for the emails so they could add those emails to their database, because in most senses the email list is one of the most important parts of your business. And so, sorry, the concept of using a lead magnet is to build your email list out, because your email list allows you to reach more people. And if you truly believe in your product or service, you want to reach as many people as possible with every time you reach out to them. And they can't all be soliciting emails. You can't just keep asking for money every single time. I'll go ahead and duplicate this. All right. So what we're doing now, I was checking out something. Oh, I got caught down the social media rabbit hole. What we're doing right now is I'm actually linking my landing page to this email sequence so that I can collect emails on the front end, offer free training on the back end. Probably need to go into the email sequence and give them an opportunity to sign up for training. So that's a thing that I'm going to have to do. I got to figure out how to link that. One thing I know about the ADHD journey is when you engage in a task that you're not familiar with, it can chew through your willpower reserves really, really, really quickly. And that's kind of what I'm experiencing now. Small group training session free. Share your contact info in your way. Okay, so what's actively happening right now is my interest on this. I've been tr- putting so much energy into trying to get this done. I'm actively kind of reaching my point where, um, yeah, that's gone. I've actively kind of reached my point where I have a hard time focusing, um, or I'm having a hard time focusing on getting things done. Um, because this is all new to me and I have to burn brain power to kind of focus on this. And I'm learning a new platform. And unfortunately, when you do that, it can tap your willpower reserve. So before this gets too out of hand, I need to go ahead and finish what I'm working on so I can at least have this task completed. And then I can come back to it um, when I get done and come back to it um, when I have a little bit more in my tank to focus. I don't want to do all that. Hmm. Yowzers. So I have to go through the process of connecting my domains. Um, I really don't feel like doing this right now, but I have to go in here and fool around with CNAME and all this other stuff. I don't want to do this right now, but I don't have much of a choice if I want to get this task done. So I'm gonna bite the bullet and try to knock this out. Make more money. Hmm. Yeah, y'all, it's crashing down right now. Oh, I gotta attach my Google Analytics account to this. Shoot. I really don't want to go through all this. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna use this page. I'm paying for it now anyway. I might as well go ahead and do it. Yeah, this is kind of where the ADHD hits a wall here, because I'm gonna have to do a couple of other tasks that I don't necessarily want to donate my brain power to, but I don't really have much of a choice. And so this is the thing this is kind of where I hit my wall. Because I'm going to have to add this domain. And get around here and fool around with my record conflict, multiple records found, troubleshoot this issue. I don't want to go through all of this right now, but I have to. Yeah, I already have the domain attached to this. All right, so this is what I'm going to have to do. Oh my God, I don't want to go through all this. But I'm going to have to. Because if I don't, well, I don't want to bork my website either. All right, here we go. What does this mean? Oh, fuck. Okay, so let's host. Okay, record A. I am messing things up, bro. I really do not want to destroy my website. Yeah, we about to finish this up. Couldn't find a C name A record pointing www to the site ludicrous. Blah, blah, blah. All right. This one got your boy whooped, guys. So what we about to do is I'm gonna end this live stream so that y'all can't see me cussing and struggling with this. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you guys got some opportunity to work out some of the things that you needed to get done before the weekend. I know I did, but yeah, because I'm gonna need to give them a support, a call, and kind of figure out what the issue is with this website. So I appreciate y'all's time. I'll see y'all next Friday for the next co-working live stream. Talk to y'all later. Peace.